Emma inherited an antique clock from her late grandmother, a grand, towering timepiece with intricate carvings. From the moment it was brought into her home, strange things began to happen. Every night at midnight, the clock's ticking grew louder, echoing through the house, drowning out every other sound. One night, as Emma lay awake, the clock's ticking became unbearable. She crept downstairs to stop it, but as she approached, she noticed something strange. The hands of the clock were frozen at 3 o'clock, yet the ticking continued, relentless and loud. When she leaned closer to examine it, the glass reflected a shadowy figure behind her. Startled, she spun around, but there was nothing there. The next night, she awoke to the sound of the clock again, but this time, the hands were spinning backward, grinding with a sinister creak. As she watched in horror, the ticking transformed into whispered words. A faint voice seemed to call her name from deep within the clock. Terrified, Emma decided to cover the clock with a sheet, hoping to muffle the sound. But as she pulled the sheet over it, a chilling message appeared on the glass face, written in foggy letters. Remember 3 o'clock. At exactly 3 a.m., the lights in her house flickered violently. In the brief moments of darkness, Emma could see a shadowy figure standing beside the clock. When the light steadied, the figure was gone, but the room had grown unnaturally cold. The next night, Emma tried to ignore the clock altogether. She stayed upstairs, determined not to look at it again. But at 3 a.m., a faint, eerie glow emanated from the living room. Peeking through the banister, she saw the clock glowing a sickly green, casting long shadows across the walls. Within the glow, Emma saw the image of a person hanging, their body swaying gently with the ticking of the clock. By the time Emma reached the clock, the glow had faded, and the ticking had stopped entirely. The house fell into a deafening silence, and the air felt heavy and oppressive. As she stared at the frozen clock, its hands stuck at 3. She felt a cold breath against her ear and heard a whisper. "Time's up." The clock never ticked again, but Emma could never bring herself to remove it. And every night, she still feels the presence of something watching, waiting for the hands to move again.